Hello everyone, Ian here once again. Before I start the main part of this video, I want to give a little bit of a warning out there to anyone who wants to make YouTube videos. And if you want to make the YouTube videos that involve you inside a room or in a house by yourself talking into a camera, you will go insane. Cannibal Corpse, Skeletal Domain. Right, today I'm going to be reviewing the new Cannibal Corpse. And I know you're probably waiting for Morbid Angel and stuff, but you know, I just haven't been in the mood to review Morbid Angel or Iron Maiden, so I decided to review Cannibal Corpse, the newest album. Came out 2014 in September. Let's get right into it. Okay, I've got to say this right now. If I filmed my top 10 Cannibal Corpse albums before, after I did this review, I would definitely put a Skeletal Domain in the top 10. Probably ahead of Torture, because I think this is a better album than Torture. It's just so good. I absolutely love this album. I loved every bit of it, every single song. So let's get right into it. One thing I want to say before I get into the album is, it seems to me that they're starting to go back to the more brutal song titles, like the more intense song titles. And that's what I thought Cannibal Corpse lacked in Evisceration Plague and Torture, is they didn't have, obviously the song titles were cool and stuff, but they didn't have those really brutal, intense song titles. So I'm really glad they kind of got that back, because it's awesome, and you could definitely tell. The one song they released before the album came out, Sadistic Embodiment, I did a track review on it. That song's awesome. High Velocity Impact Spattle, that's the first song. I don't know what it is about Cannibal Corpse, but whenever the first song always has like the coolest song title to me. Probably not all the time, but especially with their newest albums, starting with like Kill up to, well, probably not Kill, more like the Retro Spawn, up to this album, they've always had like the first song title, the first song on this CD is the coolest sounding song title. With Torture you had Demented Aggression, and now you've got High Velocity Impact Spattle. And then they got awesome song titles as well, like Kill Become, A Skeletal Domain, Headlong into Carnage, The Motorless Pack, Funeral Cremation, Ice Pick Lobotomy, Bloodstained Cement. It's awesome. I love the song titles. Before I even listened to the album, I just looked at the back and saw the song titles. I was like, this album's gonna be awesome. And it was. Alright, now that that's out of the way, I just wanted to point that out, that I thought about the song titles and stuff. We're going to go to the production, and I'm just going to keep walking around, because I feel like it. Because I don't feel like sitting down or standing up for this video, I just want to walk around. So, the production, they got a new producer by the name of Mark Lewis. He's done other bands before, some pretty well-known bands too. But he's a good producer, and it definitely shows with this album, because the production, I think, was better than Torshul in the last 3 albums that Eric Rutan was the producer of. I thought the production, the drums, unlike Torshul and sort of Evisceration Plague, yeah, Evisceration Plague too, the drums were more clear and the bass was more clear. I mean, you could hear the bass in Torshul and a little bit in Evisceration Plague, but it wasn't like really clear, and that's what I like about this new album is the drums and the bass are more clear than they were before. I mean, obviously you can still hear them in Torshul, but they're more clear, and the vocals are more clear in the production, and the guitars, of course, they've always been clear in a Cannibal Corpse production. But I definitely enjoyed the production of this album. It was very good. It was all clean. You can hear everything. Nothing was overwhelming another instrument. Like, the guitars wasn't dominating the bass. The bass wasn't like a background instrument with the production. The bass was on tune with the guitar, and the drums was the same, and the vocals, you can obviously hear the vocals. But it was a good production, and I'm glad that they got this new producer. And I hope this new producer, Mark Lewis, if they really do it, does their next album. That'll be awesome. Their 14th album. Yeah, I'm sure they would, but yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm already hoping for... It's been a month since their 13th album came out, and I'm already hoping for a 14th. But hey, who isn't? It's Cannibal Corpse. Okay, so production is out of the way. Guitars, it's pretty much your typical Cannibal Corpse guitars. It's a cool thing. I think Pat O'Brien wrote most of the songs. I mean, he probably wrote the most amount. There's 12 tracks on the album. He probably wrote the most amount, which is a good thing, because I thought with Evisceration Plague, especially Evisceration Plague, Alex Webster was writing way too much, and it was just... It didn't sound right at all. But with this album, Pat O'Brien did some of the songs, Alex Webster did some of the songs, and Rob Barrett, he usually does like 2 songs an album, which kind of sucks, because he's a good songwriter. I wish he did some more songs, but he's always doing like 2 songs, which sucks. He did 2 songs on Torshul, and he did 2 songs on this one. He only did 1 song on Kill and Evisceration Plague, which kind of sucks. But they're all good songwriters. And I really liked how Pat O'Brien was, and Paul Mazurkowitz, he does the lyrics for Pat's songs, and because Pat doesn't write lyrics, he said it before in the Centuries of Torment DVD. But I thought the songwriting was very well done. This album, just overall, yeah, I think is better than Torshul. It's definitely... It seems like with some bands, with death metal bands, and especially Cannibal Corpse in some eras, or how would I say this? With some albums... Okay, let's say this. Eating Back to Life, Butchered at Both, 2 Million Related, The Bleeding. With each album, they got better. And then Gallery of Suicide, well, it was a good album, but it didn't necessarily was good as The Bleeding. And then Bloodthirst, which was freaking amazing. And then they sort of went downhill again. And then by Torshul, they started going uphill. And with this release, a Skeletal Domain, they're definitely still going uphill, which is good, because I don't want them to go downhill again. But yeah, this is arguably not a bad Cannibal Corpse album. I think everyone can agree on that. Alright, so the bass. Let's talk about the bass. And I kind of touched on the bass a little bit before, I'm talking about musicianship and stuff, because I talked about the bass with the production, how it was more clear, and that's a good thing. You can hear it more often. And the bass is, Alex Webster. You pretty much everything you should expect from Alex Webster with the bass is in this album. The bass is very good, the drums are very good, the guitars are very good, the vocals. I think Corpse Grinder did a much better job on this album with vocals than on Torture or Visceration Plague. I'm not so much Kill. I would say Kill is sort of on the level of a Skeletal Domain, this album. But I think he was a lot better. I mean, I've been saying it pretty much throughout this review. I think this is a lot better album than Torture. And and it sort of is. I mean, probably not everyone will agree on it, but I think most people would probably agree on it. This is sort of more on the lines of like classic Cannibal Corpse. Like, this is more like the album Vile and Bloodthirst, and sort of like Kill too, and it's very similar to Torture, but I wouldn't say that it's like a lot like Torture. But the album is very good. I enjoyed every second of it, every single song. And one thing I want to point out before I end this review is the last song on Torture, called Torn Through, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the song. That song, the lyrics of that song had numbers in them. It had like 7 more to kill, 8 more to kill, that kind of thing. And it went down to 1, and the pretty much the last lyric is 1 more to kill. And I noticed while reading the lyrics to all the songs of this album that the last song, Hollowed Bodies, is similar to Torn Through, because they have numbers, not like exactly like Torn Through, but they have numbers on the lyrics. And I don't think I can be the only one who's noticed this, but it's like the last song of Torture, they actually have like actual numbers, I'm kind of sounding like an idiot right now, but they have like 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1, and then in Hollowed Bodies they're like 13, 6, 7, blah blah blah, 9, 12, and I just thought that was kind of interesting how they did that. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but it was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna end this review here. I probably went on for a long time, but I'm going to give Cannibal Corpse a Skeletal Domain a 10 out of 10. Yep. If you've seen my reviews, you know that I've only given 2 Cannibal Corpse albums a 10 out of 10. That's Bloodthirst and Tomb of the Mutilated. So Skeletal Domain is the 3rd album to get a 10 out of 10 for me. I think it's a little bit better than Bush It At Both, to be honest. But like I said, I'm going to end the review here. 10 out of 10, Skeletal Domain. Definitely recommend the album if you have not heard it already. If you're a death metal fan and you want to get into like Cannibal Corpse, or you want to get into death metal, this is definitely a good album to listen to. Especially if you want to get into Cannibal Corpse. Now I can't speak right, so I'm going to end the review here. Thanks for watching. See you later.